Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Shreddy Roosevelt Shreducational Series. Uh, as always, I am your host, Shreddy Roosevelt. That's me. And today, what we're going to be talking about is the melodic line, aka part writing. Maybe even get into some duet writing. So, I'm going to try to just jump right into this and carry on from where we were in the last video. So, let's backtrack even further. In the first video, we essentially discussed how this fretboard visualizer works and what you're seeing on your screen. As a quick recap, it displays the in-key notes for any given scale or pattern. Today's pattern is going to be in E minor. Again, it's the relative minor of G major, so it may look very similar. We've been in this key for a long time. And when you're writing a melody, the most important thing to think about is the individual phrases. A phrase is the smallest part of a form. So let's say, bang my guitar against the wall here. Let's say you got something and you're doing something like this. Okay, so the smallest part of that is a phrase, just something like this. And then the whole series of notes that I played from start to finish, that's a form. And the way that you end that is with a cadence. Your cadence doesn't have to be that stressed. Typically, say today, if you're sitting there, you're not going to end on something going, you'll just, people know you're wrapping it up. Your cadence can even just be one long held note. So just think of the cadence as wrapping it up, and it sounds like it's wrapped up. It's not like you were just, and it just cuts off randomly. So in music theory, they teach you that typically a phrase is going to be made up of different movements or motives, kind of like lick 1 and lick 2, because the whole thing is like a dialogue or a communication. So let's take just a simple lick like this. And if you couldn't see what I'm playing, I'm starting on the G string, and I'm playing A, G, and E. Okay, that's going to be my phrase or my lick. So what would happen, after that? If I go like this, that's still a parallel phrase. It's just inversed, and that's very common. How many licks do you know that go? A contrasting phrase is where it's not similar. So the second lick, you've already seen the first lick I'm going to play. The second lick is going to be based around a D shape. So I'm going to come up to the 15th fret and play a G, an F sharp, a D, an A, a G, an F sharp, and a G. So, part 1. Part 2. So that would be a contrasting phrase. It's just something different. There's not super hard and fast rules. It's just things to kind of think about. So the antecedent phrase, if you're looking for the technical term, is what you would call the first phrase, and then the followed phrase would be the consequent phrase. So let's say the antecedent, consequent phrase. When you get into writing melodies, and let's just go ahead and, how do you write a melody? Pretty much look at these in-key notes and start from the root note of it, and then go back. You can do it, you can come into it this way, shift strings. So what I did there was E, F sharp, G, and then just D, D, E. I can't personally, and no guitar instructor, guitar teacher can teach you personally how to write inspiring melodies to you. What you will need to do is sit around and practice playing these notes. It's really as simple as you can just go up and down the position. See, I'll start here on the 12th position. And when you're doing that, you're going to find things that move you. I'm a simpleton. I like things just like this. Yeah, that would be a nice lick to me, but what do I know? But that's how you're going to learn how to write them. One thing that I can tell you is they're really about repetition and sequence. So let's take this lick. I'm going to add some repeats to it. So let's turn that into. So you can see I did repeat it a few times, and then I just inversed the sequence and then turned it back around and started again. It can really be that simple. So another thing you can do is just move it to a different pitch level. So see, that's just an octave higher. Is an octave higher, and it's already beginning to get musical. Typically, when you're writing like a phrase, the form is usually not more than like, I don't know, 8 measures. You can do whatever you want, but that was the rule of thumb of what they taught me in music theory. I really think that is about it, guys. I can add some more in-depth lessons later, like how to play over certain key changes, how to lead in. There are techniques to, besides just the notes, to knowing how to come in and make them stand out in the music. But really, guys, just take the Shredboard Visualizer. You can change the key. You don't have to keep being in E minor, G major like me. I'm just trying to keep it consistent for these videos. But really, just come in and play. Play these notes, play these shapes. This here on the bottom, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. One of the favorite things I love about that is how it sits the tritone right here. And you can really get some mileage with stuff, just, just sitting and working that tritone, because it creates a lot of tension. And what people really love in listening to music is for a motif to develop, and that desires resolution, and it gives them that resolution. It could be delayed a little bit or surprising in some other way, but they're gonna like it. So just sit down, pick out your pattern. You can change positions. You can play them fast. You can play them slow. But that's how you're gonna sit down and write your melodies. We'll save duets and that part of part writing for a little bit later. I definitely want people to be able just to get comfortable, like I said, playing these shapes. That's another favorite of mine. So you got C, B, A, G, F sharp, E, D. But you don't really need to worry about that. Just this shape. What I will say is you can have immediate success just taking basic pentatonic licks out of this. But try not to sit in that. A lot of people get stuck in that for their whole life, and I mean, it sounds great and it sounds good, but sometimes you're going to need some compositional diversity. Well, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully I helped you in some way. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments. That's what it's for. And I'm going to try my best to shift these videos around my audience so we can, really help you guys. So thank you so much. Thanks for watching. The links are, as always, are in the description. Remember to like and subscribe, and have a great day, guys. Thanks.